Hey guys, welcome to Superlative Radio. Dylan Stone here with you. Hope you enjoy the following vlog.
Today I want to talk about the complaints that people make when it comes to pop culture stuff. As you guys know, like I do Let's Talk, one of the things that I've commented on the show recently is that there's a lot of people that complain about, they're calling it, like, there's people online that are calling things like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they're calling it the MCU instead of the MCU. They're talking about these, agendas and all this stuff. It's really annoying. Like, I get that maybe it's not exactly what you like, but not everything is made to appeal to everybody. I mean, you can't please everybody. There's just no way you're going to be able to do it. No one can do it. No one can please everyone. I brought this up in particular in regards to things like Black Widow and Loki and WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier and a lot of the recent stuff and the recent announcements for Marvel and stuff. People have been talking about, or Star Trek, that's another good example, where people are constantly complaining about this isn't that, or it isn't this, or it's... You have to let people do some things. Like, I'll be honest, I said, watching a show not long ago, I had said that one of the things that bugs me is that representation is an issue. And I get that people want to see, something akin to them represented in TV, especially, or movies, especially if it's something that they enjoy. Like, one of the things is that there's a big movement lately. It seems like it doesn't matter what movie you turn on or what TV show you turn on. There's always somebody that's gay or lesbian, or a trans person, or whatever them might be. There's always in everything now. And I get that people want to feel included and that they want to feel like they're being represented. But realistically, and I've said this before, realistically what they should do is, because when it comes to representation, when you look at how much the gay and lesbians are, what portion or percentage of the population they actually are, it's, I believe, somewhere like 10 to 12% of the human population, right? And trans people, it's something like 1 to 2%, something like that. Like, I mean, I could be a little off, but I mean, generally speaking, those are the percentages. African American or Oriental or Native or Caucasians or whatever, and those percentages. You have to look at, I get that everybody wants to feel like we're one big global community and that everybody should be included and whatever, but the realistic part is representation should be just that, representation. So if you own, say, a TV network or a movie studio, then 1 to 2% of whatever you do should include trans people. 10 to 12% should include gays and lesbians. If African Americans and Caucasians make up, say 30 and 70% or whatever, then that's the representation. That's, like, to me, that would be proper representation because it would be more realistic. And I get that people are saying, well, for years there wasn't representation in this or that or whatever. And it's not about the fact that I think that not everybody deserves. It's just, it's unrealistic when you see it in everything, because it makes it seem like it's far more common than it is. And I guess it kind of throws real representation off when you're seeing it as if it's everywhere. I don't know how else to explain it other than that. But I just think that when we do things, we should really try to be as open as possible, especially with everybody's different cultures and different, sexual orientations, and the fact that some people want to identify as toasters. I mean, like, whatever. Like, there's something I read recently where I'm trying to remember where it is, where they're allowing birth certificates to not have sex on them until the child gets old enough to determine for themselves whether they... But sex is determined by biology. Like, it's not determined by your mental state. It's not determined by your mindset or anything. It's determined by your biology. and I've said this before, like, you can be a trans person and you can, in your mind, 100% think you're a woman or you're a man, right? But your biology says you are something else. And you can't change your biology because you cannot change your DNA. I spoke about this in regards to, I'm trying to think about where I talked about it, but I was talking about it, it was online with some friends. I was talking about how when it comes to trans women being in female sports, I have an issue with that. And it's not because I have a problem with trans women. Like, hell, if people want to think they're a woman, or people want to think they're a man, or people want to think they're a toaster or a dog, or whatever they want to think they are, great, good for them. Have your life, live your life, no one should tell you otherwise. But there's a weightlifter somewhere in, I think it's the Philippines or something, in Southeast Asia. And this person is a trans woman. And when it came to weightlifting as a male, she couldn't compete before she made her transition. She couldn't compete with other men because she just physically wasn't where other men were. But now that she's competing against women, she's lifting like 200 pounds more than any woman, even in her peak physical condition, could ever lift. Like, she's completely dominating the sport. And as such, she's going to be in the Olympics or whatever. And that to me is wrong. Your genes and your biology should determine where you compete, not how you identify. Because it's unfair to biological females to have a biological male compete against them in certain sports. Now, I mean, if it's chess or it's, I guess if it's something that involves mental challenging, that's different. But when it comes to physical challenges like the 100-meter or weightlifting or javelin throwing or, any of those things, you got to understand that men are generally stronger and faster than women. Generally, men are going to win a 100-meter dash over women if they compete against them. They're going to win weightlifting challenges over women because biologically men can lift more weight than women. And I don't think that's fair to the female competitors that may have worked their whole lives to get to this point where they want to feel like they can compete against other people that are like them. I think when you look at these things and then you take representation and you think, well, do these people have the right to be? Why not have your own category, like where you have trans people competing against other trans people? Why not that? Like, why not have a category for that? I mean, if there's supposedly enough of them that could be a thing, why not have that? Because, again, I just don't think it's fair. Realistically, you don't want to have people compete in something that makes absolutely no sense for them to compete in. And when people start competing against others like that, it's like having adults against children. Like, that's completely unfair. You can't do that. And why is that? Well, we all know it's because adult men and women are stronger than children. Like, it would be stupid to have them compete in weightlifting contests or, 100-meter dashes or whatever. I've said many times that when it comes to, like, there's a reason why in certain sports they don't let men and women compete generally, and that's why. Physically, it's not fair to the women. They deserve to have their trophies and their wins and stuff when they're competing against others that are like them that can do that. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that I think it's wrong that these people want to do these sports or whatever. That's great, let them. But to compete against people who you generally are bigger and stronger and faster than, and there's absolutely no woman that can compete on that level, that's not fair to the women. Because then you're just going to have sports that are dominated by trans women, and that's not right, because biologically they're not the same thing. Anyway, I know it's a touchy subject, but I just want to bring attention to that fact that it's like there was a thing recently in the U.S. where I think it was, I don't know if it was Nebraska or something, or Nevada, one of the states where a trans woman won the Miss Nevada or Miss Nebraska or whatever it was title. I thought, now should that be allowed? And my opinion again on that was I didn't think they should be. And the reason is because when you look at somebody who's gone through the process of transitioning, especially if they were a male to a female, men generally have a lower body fat percentage than women, which makes it easier for them to maintain a figure. Generally speaking, they're going to have undergone reconstructive surgery of some kind to maybe make their cheekbones a little less this or their jawbones a little less that or whatever. So they're going to kind of fit those beauty pageant standards of beauty a little bit more than, and I mean, they're going to have undergone surgery, and and then they're going to be taking hormones that are going to I just don't think that that's fair either. Certain things should just be for biological men and biological women, I guess. And if trans people want to have their own competitions, then we should allow them to do so. I just don't think that it's always right to let them compete in the things that should be for biological females and biological males. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, am I completely off base? Do you have a good argument as to why they should be? Let me know. Make a comment below. We'll catch you guys for another vlog right here, Superlative Radio.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Superlative Radio. Come back anytime, and when you do, please make sure you subscribe, make sure you leave a comment. We really want to know what you think. We'll see you soon. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, because that's the way it's supposed to be.